I've been editing video on my phone with PowerDirector for over 4 years now, and I've been paying for the premium version of it most of that time. And then I come to find out CapCut is free, and it has a few features that PowerDirector hasn't even thought of yet. Is it too good to be true? Is CapCut Chinese spyware? Working with TikTok? We're going to find out. All right, let's start by touching on the elephant in the room here. Is CapCut Chinese spyware? Maybe not, but if you listen to Joe Rogan read TikTok's terms of service, you might understand that TikTok is Chinese spyware.
Is it good or bad?
Bad.
So what are you saying? It's a bad place to be?
Listen to this. We collect certain information about the device you use to access the platform, user agent, mobile carrier, time zone settings, identifiers for advertising purpose, model of your device, the device system, network type, app and file names and types. So all your apps and all your file names, all the things you have filed away on your phone.
Really?
Keystroke patterns or rhythms. We may also associate you with information collected from devices other than those you use to log into the platform. They can use other computers that you're not even using to log into TikTok. They can suck the data off that.
CapCut only uses TikTok's audio stuff. Is CapCut owned by TikTok? Let's find out. Is CapCut owned by TikTok?
According to App Store, Apple, CapCut offers easy-to-use video editing functions, free in-app fonts and effects, free advanced features such as keyframe animation, smooth slow motion.
Is TikTok part owner of CapCut?
According to TikTok Wiki, fandom, while TikTok does not technically own CapCut, the two companies share a parent company and are thus closely related.
TikTok doesn't technically own CapCut, but their parent company owns CapCut. So yes, they're connected. TikTok and CapCut are connected. And if you believe TikTok is Chinese spyware, because it is, well, CapCut also has potential to be Chinese spyware. Whether it is or not is another thing. Am I going to use it? Well, probably for these features, and I don't really have anything secret I'm hiding from the Chinese government. So I'm not overly concerned with that. But if you are, steer clear. Before we get too into CapCut, I want to get into PowerDirector, tell you the few things that I know PowerDirector can do that I have not been able to figure out how to do in CapCut. And then we'll get over into CapCut, and I'm going to tell you the two things that are really like, wow, can PowerDirector do this? And if they do, is it worth paying the money for versus using free Chinese spyware version CapCut? So let's check it out. And in the end, we'll decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to use both? Am I going to quit PowerDirector and only use CapCut? I don't know. Never touch CapCut again. Chinese spyware. You guys tell me if I'm wrong here. I've only been using CapCut for a couple weeks now, just playing with it. And like I said, PowerDirector's been 4 years plus, and I know it front and back. So let's talk about it. The first thing that I've noticed PowerDirector has the ability to do that CapCut is lacking is the ability to keyframe your masks. Now, I believe you kind of can work your way around it by positioning your mask, back out of mask, hit keyframe on the main screen, go back into mask, position it again, but that's a pain in the butt. And that's the only way that I figured out to kind of do it, and I'm not sure how accurate it is. Also adds a lot of extra steps versus in PowerDirector just being able to straight up keyframe right then and there. So, big difference, and it's something that I need to be able to do in my video editing. Mind you, CapCut can probably fix that very easily, and they might do it. Second thing is the ability to add color boards really easily in a PowerDirector, and having such an array of color boards, being able to change the color on them once they're in your timeline, and do all that stuff. Use them to make vignettes, use them to make cinema bars. And mind you, those features might be available somewhere in CapCut. They do have a black color board and a white one, but it just doesn't seem as intuitive. I also don't like how in CapCut your layers, you layer them down below the top layer, but as you keep moving, they kind of disappear and you have to reselect them to get them to come back down. And you're not really seeing your full timeline all the time. And that's a little confusing to me. It would get a little bit old having to select something to be able to even visually see it in the timeline. And then having it all like kind of collapse into one timeline. Or that's what I've experienced while I've been playing with it. And it's bothersome to me. All of the stock footage, all of the stock photos, all of the stock music, it is mind-blowingly way beyond CapCut in the fact that you have all of Shutterstock for music and PowerDirector's built-in music. And when you go into videos, you not only have Shutterstock, but you have iStock, Pixabay. And Pixabay is free, but it's easy to use. It's not that easy to use on the phone. But you got iStock and you have Shutterstock and Pixabay, and like that's like opens up your ability to do so much more. Basically, when you're paying for PowerDirector, you're paying for the membership to Shutterstock and iStock, and like a Shutterstock membership, if you're just going to get one, is going to cost you as much as the PowerDirector year-long membership, but it will cost you that much per month. So just having that as like a $35 a year membership, being able to use as much Shutterstock stuff as you'd like, it's pretty awesome. Let's get into CapCut. So there's 3 things that make me drawn to PowerDirector, and it just does so much more. But there's one thing the PowerDirector does, and it's missing an aspect of it. So let's go into CapCut real quick. So here's the thing that's got me kind of wanting CapCut over PowerDirector, or wanting PowerDirector to do something to make this happen. But they have, when you're changing the speed, where's my speed? I'm all over the place here. Where's my speed in my clip? Speed. You can add curves and you can custom it so that you have a speed ramp in your video. So you could go up real fast, slow it down. PowerDirector doesn't have that speed ramp. That's game changer for me, because anytime I want a smooth speed ramp on something, I got to go to the computer. But this feature could be like, that's amazing. PowerDirector needs to get on that. If you're watching this, anybody associated with PowerDirector that has control over that, like, yes, please. Like, that's amazing. And then they have like, I mean, I don't know what this is. Let's see what it is. That's just weird. All right. That's like a speed ramp to a strong slow motion to a ramp out. So they have different options, you know, like that's cool. That's really cool. So really cool feature. And then the other really cool feature that they have is not very usable on this one, but we'll just pretend we're using it on this one, is where is it? Where is it? See this how unfamiliar I am with CapCut? Cutout. Cutout's cool. Like background removal, it just kind of does it. Like no green screen. But like if you look at it, it's like the quality of like the background removal if you're doing it on like reels and stuff like that. Well, like, so it's still thinking and it's trying to make it for the whole thing. Let's go ahead and back out so it doesn't have to do that. And then, but they also have a custom cutout, which is like similar to the ones that you use for like your magic mask on DaVinci Resolve, where you draw a line on it and then it decides like, oh, this is what you're wanting to be in your thing. We're going to figure out how to get out everything else. Like, that's pretty cool. Those 2 features are pretty incredible. I don't know if it's enough to make me switch, but it's definitely enough to make me consider using it when I need those options. I may throw a clip into CapCut just to get that speed ramp in it and then put it back into PowerDirector. But the workflow in PowerDirector for me is everything I need it to be. And I like that I can edit vertically if I want, and I simply rotate the screen, and then I can edit it on a horizontal plane if that's what I want to go with as well. Where CapCut is always editing vertical. Some would argue that's better on a phone. Some would argue it's not. Depends on what your aspect ratio of your video is. For me, if I'm editing a horizontal video, I kind of like the horizontal editing. And if I'm editing a vertical video, I like vertical editing. So it's kind of personal choice. But I like the ability to be able to do either. So the whole workflow of PowerDirector is my workflow. And I don't think CapCut's going to win me over there. What's your guys' thoughts? Leave your thoughts. Have you used both? You're going to try both? Because it's worth trying CapCut since it's free. Unless you're worried about the Chinese spyware. But if you enjoy this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to get more videos on PowerDirector, mobile video editing tips and tricks. And maybe I'll play with CapCut some more. but subscribe to know all about that stuff. And guys, go check out the rest of my playlist on PowerDirector and mobile video editing. I'm going to go shoot something else, and I'll be back next week with another video. Peace out.